Alright guys, so today we're going to check out a very interesting gaming headset. And the pair we're going to check out is the Beyerdynamic Tiger 300R. And Tiger is spelled T-Y-G-R. But what's interesting about these is it's very hard to tell that they're a gaming headset. But what's easy to tell is they are an incredible pair of headphones. But let's go ahead and check out some of the features and what it is you get inside the box. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, it's actually really simple. The only accessories they're including is a very soft carrying pouch and then a 1/4-inch adapter so that you can use them plugged into amps or home stereo systems or anything that has that type of plug-in. Outside of that, it has a normal 3.5mm plug-in so that you can plug it into everything else. But what's keeping these from seeming like a gaming headset is the fact that there is no microphone included in the box. There's no detachable microphone, there's no external microphone. Beyerdynamic does have a $300 package deal where they include a microphone, but again, it's still not one that attaches to the headset. So the whole time of me testing these, that's what kept these feeling like a pair of headphones and not necessarily a gaming headset. But outside of that, the cable on these are non-detachable. I really have gotten to the point where I prefer detachable cables. That way, if anything happens to them, it's just something that you can easily replace later. And then speaking of cables, these also have the exposed wires that go between the ear cups and then into the headband. And my only concern about that, again, is something could happen to these. You could catch them onto something, they could pull or get cut, and then it's not something that you can replace. So it's just one of those that you have to be a little bit careful with. But as far as the build quality of these, you don't have to be careful because you can stretch these out, you can twist them, you can bend them, you can do whatever, and it seems like a pair that's going to be able to handle all that. But as far as actually folding them flat and having the ear cup swivel, they don't do that. You just pick them up and that's the only way you're able to use them. And now again, if you're gonna use them at home, it's completely fine. And I kind of think you need to use them at home because they are an open back pair of headphones. Now what that means is everything that you're listening to, anybody around you is gonna be able to hear that same thing. And the benefits to that is if you're gaming, it sounds you're in a much larger environment. It makes you feel like you're in that environment, and there's nothing that's just kind of keeping them closed in. So as far as gaming and listening to music, this is usually the way I prefer to listen to stuff. But it just doesn't work in all situations. So just know if you're gonna be using these around a bunch of other people, or if you plan on using these with the Nintendo Switch and using them portably, they may not work for those environments. But as far as the comfort goes, the padding on these are very soft. They're extremely nice. It's a pleather type material and it's actually Velcroed on. So you can remove this and switch it out with other different type of headbands if you want. But again, I found that the padding on these were great right out of the box. Same thing with the ear pads. It's the velour type material. It's a little stiff at first, but this is definitely a material that over time is going to soften up. It's extremely comfortable. I didn't notice any kind of discomfort as far as the ear pads go. And using that velour also gives you a lot more breathability. So if you're going to have longer gaming sessions, having that open back design mixed with the velour ear pads means your ears aren't going to get as hot as easily. Now these have a very low impedance level, so they are very easy to drive. You can pretty much plug them into anything and get a decent amount of volume, and they don't really require an amp. Now I do use these plugged into my Schiit Hella amp just to be able to get a little bit more life out of them. But just know that you don't actually need an amp to be able to use these. Now moving over to checking out the sound. The sound on these are what makes them absolutely worth it in my opinion, and I really think this isn't just geared for gaming. Now they tune them in a way, in my opinion, that I think is bringing out a lot of the mids, so you can focus on footsteps and dialogue a lot cleaner than other headphones. But listening to music on these was just impressive. And that's with listening to all genres. It handles all genres very well. They actually have really nice bass. And on top of that, they actually have a nice sub bass. These are not boomy or overpowering in any kind of way, but you still can feel that bass impact. And it just has a much cleaner feel than a lot of other consumer type headphones and gaming headsets. Now, as far as the treble goes, I'm going to be honest. Before trying these, I was a little concerned that gaming with a pair of Beyerdynamics might be a little too harsh on the treble. And that's just my experience with Beyerdynamic in the past. It sounds great with music, in my opinion, and you're able to tune certain things with plugging them into an amp. But with a gaming headset, a lot of people are going to use these just straight plugged into the device. So that's the way I wanted to judge these, and I was really surprised at how calm the treble was. Now, it's definitely not low. I mean, it still has a lot of detail and a lot of brightness, but it's not as harsh as some of their other headphones. And what they did was they put this like internal sound dampening inside the ear cup. And what that's doing is kind of keeping a layer between you and the drivers so it's not as harsh hitting you right there in the ear. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I noticed that they definitely made the treble really nice and really clean, but kept it away from sounding harsh, which made these just overall enjoyable with everything that I used them for. Now, as far as the sound stage and the sound imaging, this is pretty simple. It's exactly what you'd expect because they're an open back pair of headphones. They sound extremely open. You definitely feel like you're dropped in the environment that you're gaming in, but being able to hear details and pick apart everything, they just definitely hold their own, and they really excel when it comes to that. Now, as far as my cons with these, I really would have liked to have seen a removable cable. I also really would have liked to have seen them hide the cable that goes from the ear cup into the headband. That's just one less thing that you'd have to worry about. But overall, for $200, you're getting an incredible pair of headphones. Just know if you're going to be playing online and using a microphone, you're gonna have to buy that separately. But guys, that's my video on the Beyerdynamic Tiger 300Rs. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.